Good morning from the UK. Are we filming? Yes, we are. So I just want to run through a process with you. I've just had my first coffee of the day. I'm very relaxed and all is quiet in Middle England here. So I just thought I'd take the opportunity to just share with you what I do with this paper. I'm folding an A4 sheet. This is Clairefontaine paper, bank paper, 50 GSM, very, very thin, and it just works with my weapon of choice, which is certainly from an EDC point of view, my Bic multi-pen. This is the mini version. And it just works. It just works on this paper. There's no worries about bleed through or ghosting or anything. So I fold it into three like this, and then I get my trusty Repesco multi-adjustable punch, and then what I do is I feed it through the slot. I mean, I'm teaching you suck eggs here. I don't mean to, but I'm just showing you how I just look from the perspective of the bottom here, because I'm punching it for 5 holes rather than 6. So I line it up here so that I'm lining it up by eye, and because there's 8 thicknesses here, then it although it's 50 GSM paper, it's still thick enough to stay there, so that then I can just punch it. And I feel like someone on Blue Peter back in the 70s, Valerie Singleton, showing you something that she's made earlier, although I haven't, because this is the only one. But this is what I do because I'm acutely aware that with let me show you something that doesn't have anything written on there. So I'm acutely aware that these 11mm rings on my EDC binder, this is a mini executive filofax, you need to ideally trim these holes if you're using this particular hole punch, because the gap here between here and here is just a little bit too much for 11mm rings. It's absolutely fine on larger rings and larger size binders, but what I do here is I could do these individually, but this is so much easier to just cut these like this. So I mean, this isn't paper that's going to last forever. This is for my to-do list and my diary, etc. But then what I will do is I will fit these all together. So let's just make sure they're all aligned. It doesn't have to be perfect, because part of the joy of this is the fact that the papers are individual. So we got 1, we got 2. Are we going to? There's a thing here that it's just a thing where you get 4 that are individuals, and then you have to do a final cut here. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, and I'll explain why in a second, why it doesn't have to be perfect. So we have got 8 sheets here, and what I do is I cut the corner at random. So I'll do one like that, maybe one like this, and then I'm doing this longhand. It's quite relaxing to do. You've probably clicked the back button by now, but forgive me if I'm not getting to the point. I've had 1 or 2 comments recently where people have said, "Get to the point, Neil, get to the point." So what I do is I have basically got here 8 sheets, which is enough for a week. And basically I've got that needs to turn over This needs to turn over. So I've got, this is the crucial point. I have got 8 sheets here, all of which are slightly different in height and width. They're all a little bit different, but crucially they've got this corner cut off. And then if you've got 2 pages that are next to each other like this, it's easy to see because of the slight variation. Here we go. The slight variation in the cut. If I just zoom in and show you. So the slight variation in the cut here, it's very, very clear if you're grabbing these 2 pages inadvertently and you only want one. You can clearly see that there's 2 pages here. There's one here and one here. And you can do it with your thumb and think, oh yes, 2 pages. So this is my technique. And my system is very, very rough and ready and ad hoc. I prefer making my own sheets. But I quite like doing this. Even with notebooks, especially new books, I will go through them and I will cut a random variation between each page so that it is easier to see whether you've inadvertently grabbed 2 pages, especially on notebooks that don't have a numbering system. And this just works. It just works. Let me zoom out here. Okay, so I'm going to continue with this if I have your permission to do that. So I just want to show you another sort of, not necessarily hack, but it's a technique that I'm working on at the moment. So this is, yes, I can do this. So you can see here, it is a mini-sized binder. This is a filofax Executive Mini, which I really like because it doesn't have it's compact, it doesn't have a pen loop. I've actually cut off the, excuse me, I'm just going to blow my nose again. I've cut off the pen loop because I don't need the pen loop, which I'm inclined to do. But what I've got here is, as you're familiar, no doubt, I'm using a pocket-sized diary, week on 2 pages, inside a mini-sized binder. So you can see that there's the hole that is redundant, and I'm using a piece of Rhodia notebook to use as a place marker instead of a ruler. And what I've done here, because this is the conundrum that we all face, is how much real estate, how much space do we need per day for a binder? It's subject to discussion and personal opinion, obviously, but this is something I've been trying recently and it seems to work very, very well. I've just turned to a section where I have yet to this is a blank week for me, so for the purposes of demonstration, and I have this bank paper, this Clairefontaine paper, so I've got plenty of sheets here, 8 sheets of A7 out of a single piece of A4, so very, very economical. I think this paper costs, I don't know, I'm not quite sure the price, but I'll leave a link to this paper in the description because I like this. I love this paper. It's just right for a cheap, generic EDC pen like this. Doesn't work very, very well with fountain pen, but I'm not using a fountain pen. I'm just using this pen, and this is my EDC, my everyday carry diary. So what am I doing with this? And what are these lines here? Well, I am writing entries in my diary. These are things that I have to do, like appointments. So today, for instance, I'm having lunch with a mate of mine and we're going to be talking about ink and paper. Maybe doing a bit of shopping for notebooks, you never know. I might check out some filofaxes at my local John Lewis store again, see what they've got. But I will jot that down in my diary. But this is not much space, as we know. And I'm just thinking out loud here. This may not be enough space for me. And just occasionally, it isn't enough space. So what do? well, this is what I'm trying out. It may work, it may not, and I invite your comments because I appreciate your comments. Many of you out there are more knowledgeable than me, and it's the shared experience of knowledge that helps us all. But here is a single sheet of paper, and here's another sheet of paper, and I've got these lines here. Let's draw some more lines. These lines are effectively aligning with, as you can see, the days of the week. So on this side we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and on this side, on the other side of the place marker, we got some more blank sheets. So a couple this side, couple this side. Let's do those lines again here. Doesn't have to be. I like to draw longhand because at the end of the day, whoops, I should have done it there. Let's cross out there, but this is just a demo. And let's draw the lines here, and here, and here. So, what have we got? We have got in this week, so let's go back here. So this is a week on 2 pages. Okay, we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Very restrictive in the space. This space for most days of the year will be more than enough for me. I don't want to go to a day to a page because it just wouldn't fit in the 11mm rings here. We're talking minimalism with a capital M. So what is the purpose of these lines here? And a couple of, doesn't have to be a couple, it could be just one, but just for the sake of argument, just to illustrate what I could do if I had a particularly busy day at random. If I filled in, I'm not going to do it because this is a live diary, but if I ran out of space on this particular day, which is a Tuesday, it's fairly self-evident that I could continue here. So I could carry on, and this aligns with the Tuesday, so I don't have to write Tuesday and the date here. I can just flow. I can fill out here, and then I can fill out here, and then if I need any more space, I can continue filling it out here, filling it out here, filling out here. So, and I could potentially continue. Say I had a really, really, really extreme day, like a wedding. Then I am effectively giving myself 1, 2, 3, 4 times the how many? Let's work it out. Concentrate now. So we got this space, and if we add 1, 2, 3, 4 extra spaces to write, so effectively we've got 5 times the space. And if we have 5 times the space, effectively we've got even more space than if I chose a day to a page diary. And that works. Have I used this system? Yes, I have. I have got to fill out this and half of this. So not completely, but obviously if I had an incredibly extra busy day, I could just add another sheet of paper. Would this make my diary overstuffed? No, not really, because this is highly unusual that for me I would need to continue using some extra space, some extra real estate on any given day. But it gives me peace of mind that if I do have extra requirements in terms of what I need to do on that particular day, then I can just do it. There's obviously other alternatives to this. I could have a to-do list for the week. So write down tasks for the week, and I could add that. I could have a routines list and add that. So I could have a continuation of my diary, and then routines, things I must do each day, and then a to-do list, maybe a Sunday maybe list for some people. But crucially, using this blank paper and just slipping it in to the diary of your choice, whether it's this size, personal size, A5, or even A4, this system works. And I think that the week on 2 pages is that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it is the ideal setup for a filofax. Other ring binders are available. If you have this, I guess, emergency measure, it gives you confidence to choose a fairly compact diary without having to worry about space. I think that works very, very well. So a couple of ideas for you there. First of all, how to trim the edges so they will fit when you turn them. They won't interfere with each other. So trimming this edge works well. Cutting random chamfers on the bottom page, that works well if you've got 2 pages that will stick together. And then finally, my diary extension, I'm going to call it. Let me know your comments on all those 3 hacks, if they are hacks. I'd be very, very interested in your views. But I'm trying this and I'm really enjoying it. And I decided over my coffee this morning that I really, really wanted to share this, shall we say, a new development with you. So until my next video, thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Please comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks very much, and goodbye.